Translating and evaluating expressions. I can identify parts of an algebraic expression. I can evaluate algebraic expressions at specific values of their variables. And I can write expressions to represent real-world mathematical situations. So some definitions and our parts of an expression. A number or any combination of numbers and variables using operations is algebraic expression. So this whole expression that is outlined in red is an expression. A coefficient is a number multiplied by a variable. So our coefficient here is in purple. It's in front of the x. The 4 is also in front of the y. That says 4 times y is a coefficient. A variable, a letter or symbol, x, y, star, or question mark that we've been using a lot that represents an unknown number. A constant is a number all by itself, so it's not being multiplied by anything, so like the 7. And a term is a number, variable, or a combination of numbers and variables joined by multiplication or division. So here we actually have 3 terms. So every time you add or subtract something, that separates the term. Identify the number of terms, variables, coefficients, and constants of the expression. So we'll start with the number of terms. So here I have 3 different terms that represent 3 different things. I have a 4b, a -9, and a 3a. So the number of terms is 3. Variables. What are our variables? So here we have a b, and here we have an a. So those are our unknowns. Those are like our question marks that we've been using. So b and a are our variables. Coefficients, that's the number in front of the variable which represents multiplication. So I have a coefficient of 4 that's being multiplied by the b, and a coefficient of 3 that is being multiplied by the a. And then the constant is the number all by itself. It's not being multiplied, or it's not a fraction and being divided with a variable. It's all by itself. It's only numbers. So our constant is 9. So here we go. We're going to rewrite each statement using symbols. So the quotient of a number divided by 4. So we have to remember what quotient means. And that means division. So a number is going to represent x. We can use any variable we'd like, and then divided by 4. So we're going to use the fraction sign for division. Remember, that is just our new way of representing division. A number less than 7. So when we start talking about less than, we really need to think about the order, because less than indicates subtraction. And this says a number less than 7. That means you're going to take the 7 and you're going to subtract the number. And that number, we don't know what it is, so it's a variable and it's x. The product of a number and 23. Product, that means multiplication. So that means a number, which is our question mark or our x, times 23. And when we write multiplication with variables, we just put them next to the number. That means 23 times x. So we're going to write a sentence to describe the meaning of the algebraic expression, then evaluate the expression for the given value. So we're going to start by writing a sentence, and this is 3 plus m. We could write 3 plus m, but let's try to use better words. So 3 more than a number, or I could put 3 more than m, 3 more than a number m. When it says evaluate the expression for the given value, we're going to use substitution. So this is a statement of equality, m equals 8. That means I can take m and I can substitute them however I'd like, as long as it equals 8. So that actually means I'm going to take the m out and put the 8 in. So I literally took the m out and moved the 8 to where the m is. And I'm going to perform all the operations the same. So 3 plus 8 is 11. So I have 10a minus 3. So here's that less than word again. So I can go 3 less than the product, because that's the multiplication of 10 and a, so now I'm going to substitute here. I have a statement of equality, a equals 2, so I'm going to able to take the a out and put the 2 in. So we have 10 times 2 minus 3. So I'm going to use order of operations, and multiplication comes first. So 10 times 2 is 20. Bring everything else down. 20 minus 3 is 17. So we're going to write a sentence to describe the meaning of the algebraic expression and then evaluate again. So here I have c to the third power, and I also have 6 being multiplied by c to the third power. So I can say the product of 6, and you can either say c to the third power or c cubed. Cubed means to the third power. Now we're going to substitute. Statement of equality here says c equals 2. So I have 6 times 2 to the third power. And now I have to do order of operations. So I have to do 2 to the third power first. Well, we learned on the last video that 2 to the third power is 2 times 2 times 2, which is 8. And I bring everything down. And then I have 6 times 8, which is 48. Okay, school lunch costs $3 for each student. Write an algebraic expression to represent the total amount money collected for S students buying school lunches. So if I had 2 students buy school lunch, that would be $6. Now the question is, what did I do? I either did multiple addition of the 3 plus 3 is 6, or I did 3 times 2. So what I need to do here is, for any amount of students, I am going to multiply that by S. So my algebraic expression would be 3 times S, or 3S. If 55 students purchased a school lunch, what is the total amount of money collected? So here it says S represents students, so we are saying S equals 55. And I just wrote my algebraic expression. Now I can substitute the 55 in. I do the operation, which is multiplication. 3 times 55 is 165. So that's $165. Okay, your turn. You try it.